Okay. Now it's time to attempt to go into this conversation that this video is going to be about. And I'm going to start it with just kind of an analogy. Say you're in, well, okay, like for me, I played football in like the 7th and 8th grade. And stuff like this, right? I was involved in some shit like that, mostly because of my pressure from my parents, whatever. But anyways, so I was on a team. So let's say we're on a football team. We're in the 7th grade. We're on a football team, and we're competing with other football teams, and we end up losing. You know, I mean, in 8th grade it's different, but as you get older. As a person gets older, if they start to mature more, there's it's a mature person can start to grow an appreciation for losing and seeing the opponent win, and when experiencing the loss in some form of competition like that, the team that lost can appreciate and acknowledge and give credit where credit's due to the team that won, where it's like, and not only that, but actually be happy for them. We're brainwashed into thinking that this is impossible and it's stupid, and all this, but that's not the case at all. So, especially if it's not like, if it's a mostly fair win, like if they won fair and square, there is actually it's okay to be happy for them, to be like, yeah, right on, you guys won fair and square, shake hands. Well, like you see it even on MMA or boxing and stuff, like two people will be in the fighting ring, and then one's gonna lose, one's gonna win, and when it's over, we see it, where they genuinely, the two fighters, even though one lost and one the other one won the fight, at the end they hug and they're like, dude, fucking, that was a great fight, blah blah blah, and you can kind of see like if you were to flesh out a conversation between them two. Fighting in a ring is different than just fighting in real life, And so, two opponents can come to agree on, like, dude, it doesn't mean much. It just means that I know how to win in the ring, And discussions can be fleshed out on that, where, and this and that. So it doesn't really mean all that much. It's just, and it's okay to be happy for the opponent. So if you or I were in a ring with somebody, in a fighting ring or whatever, and then we lost, it's okay to shake hands afterwards and agree, like, that was a good fight. You fucking, and to even maybe, discuss it later on and just talk about how, like the winner could even admit, as if we were in a real fight outside the ring, dude, I'd probably be fucking knocked out and, cold. I'd have to come with the gun, or, there's all kinds of different things, variables that come into play. And just because one fighter wins in a ring against another, it doesn't necessarily mean much of anything. And the opponent that lost can be also happy for the winner, where it's like, dude, you won fair and square. Like, that was a great fight. Like, you were fucking badass, Mike Tyson. Like, holy shit, bro. It's okay to be happy for the opponent that won. And I think us as a society have forgotten all this. We've forgotten all of this. There's nothing worse than a sore loser, and vice versa, a sore winner. There's nothing worse than that. and you automatically see you're gonna see all these sore winners, all the sore winners from this election, presidential election, are gonna come out peacocking. See, the people that are sore winners, they never stood for anything. They're just like, their only reason for taking a side is to, to peacock around and show like, look at me, ha ha, And so sore losers or sore winners are true losers, you know, a person or a group or a team that wins, uh, um, a true winner will acknowledge, like, their opponent and the worth of their opponent, you know, and stuff. And so, we're in this day and age where it's been pretty constant, where everybody's at each other's throat. I keep bringing this up over and over again. You look around, what do you see? People breaking off into warring factions, each group saying to the other, we're right and you're wrong. And then if one of them does prove themselves right, they're always, the most of the time they're just a sore winner. They're just like swinging their dick around and, woo, yeah, those guys are pieces of shit, ha ha, and this is low IQ mentality. This is super low emotional intelligence. Like, they're just adult children. They have no. They're actually the losers. Anybody that would sore winners are losers. They've actually lost, and so you're going to see a lot of sore winners from the election. All these people. All this is all going to happen. I can already see it. And if the roles were reversed and Kamala won, you'd see the same thing on the other side. A bunch of sore winners that are swinging dicks around and, like whooping it up and everything. And that's just the society that we live in. But yeah, it's totally okay to be happy for the opponent that won. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's grace. That's a form of grace, to have a little bit of grace, and those are the true winners. Like, if a person loses but they lose with grace, that's a win. That's just a win. And the winner that's a sore winner has lost. They've lost. And and so even from I still have a lot of trouble trying to understand the non-political person. I mean, the average non-political person. There are people that I can really understand because they break it down. It's very easy to understand, and I'm like, whoa, I totally get you, bro. But the average non-political person is difficult to understand because they just seem like they're an opponent. But I thought to be non-political is to not be adversarial towards, but they are. Like, the majority of them are. So it is political, And so the non-political, when the non-political as an opponent loses, it's the same thing. Sore losers, most of them are sore losers, and then they just keep going on. It's like, well, I told you it doesn't matter either way because no matter who you choose, you lose. So they're just going on and on. They're just all upset no matter what. And the same rule applies to them. Is like, it's okay to just be happy for your perceived opponent. So if you're non-political and you're like you're pushing all these Trump voters, telling them how stupid they are for voting, and then Trump wins, it's okay to just be happy with your perceived opponent. Like, just let them have it. Like, they won. It's, maybe the day will come when the non-political party, as I like to call them, will achieve whatever goal it is that they're after. I don't know particularly exactly, but maybe someday, but yeah, it's like losing with grace is always a win. It's always a win. And to win, being a sore winner is always a loss. It's just a you lost the game. No matter what you think, you can think that you're a winner, but you're not. So it's okay to just allow, and I've always felt this way, like look, no matter what I think about patriotism and all this stuff, when I look and I see an older generation of people that are proud of their country and they're wearing their Trump hats and they're proud of their country and this and that, no matter where I stand, it's something to appreciate, where you're just like, I'm really glad that these people are happy about something, that they feel, whether it's perceived or not, it's like, just let them have it. Just unless they're gloating or something. But dude, I've seen tons and tons of all these Trumper type people that they're not gloating. They're just happy. And it's like, just let them have it. Why, shit the bed about it? And actually, not only just let them have it and be happy, you can stand outside of your own box and just look at it from an objective viewpoint and feel a genuine sense of happiness for them, where you're just happy for them. It's like, it's nice to see some people, who are winning, like these old elderly people that are wearing their Trump hat. It's really sweet to see it, And so it's all how you look at things. It's really all how you look at things, And or the same, like for example, when Obama won, whatever your thoughts are, it really was something to see a colored person, a black family, enter the White House. It's like, I thought it was okay, it was like good. I was happy, and I was happy for people of color or colored people, because they felt more like, things are working in their favor. And even if things haven't worked in my favor all my life, and I'm not feeling any privilege from my race, perceived or real, I can still stand outside myself and just look at it objectively and be happy for them, Politics isn't as big of a deal. That's true. That's where the non-political person is right. But then they contradict themselves by freaking out and shitting their diapers, screaming all over BitChute how meaningless politics is. Like, if it's so meaningless, then and you claim to be non-political, why you care more about it than anyone else? Like, you're like totally freaking out, And again, it's just stepping outside of that and just looking at it through an objective lens for what it is. It's like, it doesn't matter. Even if you are right and that politics is totally meaningless, it means something to other people, and just acknowledge it for what it is. You don't have to change everyone's mind. And everybody's different strokes for different folks. What is meaningless to you may have meaning to someone else, I mean, and this is just kind of common sense things, It just seems like we've lost sight of common sense and just common courtesy and just, acknowledging others' importance, and just letting people, sometimes you got to just let people have their day in the sun and just be happy for them for having their time in the sun. And so this is where we're at in politics, like I'm looking at, Trump won and, but again, you're going to have all these abusers that are going to gloat and stick it in their face and stuff. And you're going to have that no matter what, whether it was Kamala that won or Trump that won, or that nobody voted and it was just like nobody voted and so there was no winner. Then the non-political people would be gloating and swinging their dicks and laughing at all the voters and stuff. There's just always going to be that phenomena. But you and I, we don't have to be that. We don't have to participate in that. We can be happy for whoever it is that benefits most from whatever election it is, no matter how meaningless it might be, because it means something to them. If the person they want in office wins, it means something to that person. So just because it doesn't mean anything to me doesn't mean that that's a one size fits all, that it's just meaningless to everybody. And same for the non-political. It's because I don't understand the non-political thing in a general sense. Doesn't mean that if this 2024 election ended up being a tie because nobody voted, I can be happy for the non-political person who wanted that. They wanted everybody to not vote so that no one would get elected, and it would begin to dismantle this oppressive government. It's like, even if I don't agree with that, if it was the non-political people that achieved their goal, it's okay to just be happy for them, even though the outcome I wanted didn't happen. I can still be happy for other people. And then in return, I feel a sense of happiness because I'm happy for them. Like, so no matter what, you're going to have sore losers and gloaters, and that's just the majority. It seems like the majority of people just kind of suck, So no matter who wins and who loses, the majority of people in general are just going to suck, But we don't have to do that. Like, as an individual, me and you, we don't have to do that. We can just find the good in wherever there's good to find. We can find it, even if it's in our loss, where we lost and our opponent won. If there's good to be found in that, well, then that's not a loss, Like this terrible thing that happened to me 2 years ago. I learned so much from it, and there's so much more that I can learn from it. And so it's kind of a glass half empty versus glass half full kind of perspective. I can look at that event and just let it completely destroy me, which in some ways, and maybe even a lot of ways, it feels almost like that's what has happened. But I've been able to see a lot of positive things come from this insanely fucking crazy event that just like practically killed me, like almost killed me. And looking back, and I could see how it's been an opportunity for me to grow from it, and to learn to just accept reality for what it is, and free myself from delusion and stuff. So, it's just half the glass half full versus glass half empty. There's two ways to look at things, and we don't have to be the sore winner that gloats around and peacocks about swinging our dick, and we don't have to be the sore loser either that's attacking people and stuff. And again, like, you can watch a boxing match where at the end of the boxing match, the two opponents come together, shaking hands and hugging and agreeing with each other that was a crazy ass fight, and this is across the board. And so we do not have to participate in the gloating and the sore loser complex, or the sore winner complex. We can just seek the good in everything we experience and find it, and just be, just chill the fuck out about stuff. It don't have to be all this, everything is crazy fighting and stuff. But people are going to be people, so we'll see what the outcome of all this is. I mean, it's pretty much out of our control, the only limited control we do have is over ourselves, and that's even limited. So anyways, just some thoughts on all this stuff about Trump and everything.